Our Lady of the Rosary, Wyoming, is one of 26 parishes of the Diocese of Broken Bay. It lies on the picturesque central coast of New South Wales. While the parish centre is in North Gosford and Wyoming, its boundaries extend to Ourimbah in the north, sections of Tumby-Umby to the east, and parts of West Gosford to the southwest. At the centre are the train-line suburbs of Narara, Niagara Park, and Lisseroe. The parish belongs to the Wyong ward of the Central Coast local government area. The origins of Our Lady of the Rosary, Wyoming, lie in the Our Lady of the Rosary Parish in Gosford, which was created in 1888. Its church, built along Donison Street, completed in 1892. Though expanded in the 1930s, by the 1960s, the church was now too small for the parishioners of the fast-growing Greater Gosford area. 2 new churches were built to replace the Gosford church, which was sold and torn down. The first was in East Gosford, St. Patrick's, and the second built with the proceeds of the sale of the Gosford church. A new Our Lady of the Rosary Church in North Gosford, Wyoming in 1966. The church was built by Tom Fogarty on 3.5 acres of land and faced Henry Parry Drive. It could seat 320 parishioners. Fixtures from the original Gosford church were transported to Our Lady of the Rosary, Wyoming. The pews, the marble baptismal font, the holy pictures, statues of the Sacred Heart and Our Lady, and the hand-painted bas-relief Stations of the Cross, which had been donated in 1921 by Frank Compton, a World War I veteran. Still a part of the Gosford parish, Our Lady of the Rosary, Wyoming, was blessed by Bishop James Carroll on November 27, 1966. It was 7 years later, in 1973, when the Wyoming Church became the center of a new parish. At the heart of its creation was Father Philip Murphy. Father Murphy had been appointed administrator of the parish of St. Patrick's, Gosford, in January 1973. He was asked by Cardinal James Freeman of the Archdiocese of Sydney, to which the Gosford parish belonged, to conduct a survey to study the possibility of creating new parishes in this surging corner of the Central Coast. East Gosford, Springfield, Erina, Terrigal, West Gosford, Wyoming, Narara, Niagara Park, Lisseroe, Ourimbah. The result was the division of the Gosford parish into 3, with the creation of 2 new parishes, Terrigal Erina and Wyoming Narara. This division came into effect on the 1st of October 1973. The new parish, Our Lady of the Rosary, Wyoming Narara, was proclaimed on the 1st of October 1973 with Father Murphy as the first parish priest. He would continue to serve until 1991, becoming its longest-serving parish priest to date. Father Murphy set out to build the new parish with a vigour matched by the enthusiasm and energy of the parishioners. From the parish archives, here are the minutes of the first general parish meeting held on 9 October 1973. It was a beehive of ideas and plans to get the parish going. Father Murphy and parishioners discussed the schedule of masses, benediction and rosary, and quickly formed committees to help organize church groups such as the Altar Society, church wardens, Mothers Club, and altar servers. The number one priority was to build the presbytery. This was completed in November 1974. The parishioners supported these plans through generous donations and projects such as the 200 Club. The new parish acknowledged the specific needs of the community, that it was an area of rapid expansion, catering mainly for young married couples and young families. Hence, the second priority was the establishment of a primary school. This was built with government grants and the parishioners' outstanding support. Again, the parishioners provided financial resources and even manual labor in its construction. Father Murphy noted that the contributions of the parishioners to the school building fund rocketed from an average of $126 in 1973 to $3,000 a week in the 80s. He noted that one parishioner went fruit picking at Mangrove Mountain on Saturday morning in order to make a contribution to the parish. The school was blessed on April 16, 1978, by His Eminence Sir Cardinal James Freeman. Together with Father Murphy, the early parishioners worked with boundless dedication to build the parish ministries, programs, and projects. the Wyoming Conference of St. Vincent de Paul was set up in July 1974. There were many catechists for state schools, 30 to 40 catechists for 6 primary schools and 3 high schools in the area. There was benediction and rosary every Friday evening. The Friends of the Sick, the Marian social group of young married women, organized activities for parishioners of all ages, cricket, picnics, and the parish event of the year, the annual parish dinner dance. In September 1976 was born the Pauline Group for Scripture Study. The Solar Parent Group, the Quarterly Parish Magazine, Angelus in March 1985, and a year earlier, the Parish Pastoral Council in March 1984. Up till 1986, the parish belonged to the Archdiocese of Sydney. With the growth of the Catholic population in northern Greater Sydney, a new diocese was created, the Diocese of Broken Bay, to which the parish has since been part of. There was a very close bond between the school and Father Murphy, who conducted regular class masses which were well attended by the pupils' parents. The parish continued to grow so that more room was now needed for masses which were always fully packed. The church was thus renovated to increase capacity from 320 to 500. Its orientation was reversed so that the front became the back of the church. The number of school children grew rapidly as the parish established itself in the region. Here, Father Murphy poses with 66 smiling first communicants in the 80s. In 1991, after 18 years as parish priest, Father Murphy was called away to serve in Manly. It was mission accomplished as he handed over the shepherding of the parish to the next generation of Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming parish priests. Building on the foundations set up by Father Phil Murphy were those who came after him. Father Paul Vanuken, parish priest 1991 to 2000. A young priest ordained in 1981 who was concurrently an army chaplain. Father John Wakeling, parish priest 2000 to 2002, a liturgist. Father Mark Okarma, parish priest 2002 to 2009, Polish-born, who belonged to the congregation of St. Michael the Archangel, CSMA, or Michaelites, founded in Poland and active in Papua New Guinea. Parishioners recall that Father Paul was a very good communicator with the school children in the liturgies. The then school principal wrote, "Who could forget his kindergarten mass when he held aloft a guinea pig to illustrate the homily?" Parishioners remember Father Paul for his laid-back and relaxed style of leadership. He introduced a Christian meditation program and brought the Antioch Youth Movement, a popular parish-based movement for 16 to 21-year-olds, to the parish. It was during Father Paul's time that family groups were introduced and began to flourish among the parishioners. It was a very short parish stay for Father Wakeling. However, he made his mark in the parish with the establishment of the liturgy team, a ministry which, to this day, continues to play a major role and contribution to our parish life. Father Mark Okarma led the celebration of the church's 40th anniversary in 2006 and the school's 25th anniversary in 2008. On this occasion, the religious education coordinator thanked the parish's sacramental team for the successful sacrament enrichment days, a joint effort with the school. As the parish celebrated these milestones, dark clouds were hovering over the Catholic Church in Australia. In the previous decade had begun a significant and worrying decline in membership, weekly mass attendance, and overall a withdrawal from the sacramental life of the Church. This trend soon caught up with the Wyoming parish. As church attendance and membership declined over the years, so did the financial health of the parish, as well as parishioner numbers in the various ministries. Once again, committed parishioners rallied to address a number of these challenges. The different ministries were given a boost with a vigorous recruitment drive through the Ministries Expo, held every 2 to 3 years at Pentecost. Old and new faces soon came together to revitalize the parish ministries. While financial difficulties continued to beset the parish, these did not dampen the commitment of the loyal core. Assisting Father Mark in the mid-2000s in the parish was Deacon Paul Simmons, ordained to the permanent diaconate in 2004, whose initiative included ecumenical Good Friday services with the Anglican Church and the Uniting Church. He visited and gave Holy Communion to the sick and the housebound, and conducted baptisms as part of his pastoral work. He and his wife Susan were a supportive presence in the parish, staying on until 2013. 2008 was a very exciting and busy year for the parish, when it played host to young people from Asia and Western Europe, delegates to World Youth Day held in Sydney. Here is a group photo of the World Youth Day hosts and guests at the parish grounds. Little did the parish know that 8 years later, for the first time, it would have its own youth delegates to World Youth Day 2016. In the 2000s, although the parish was still largely made up of Australia and UK-born families, new arrivals, especially from the Philippines and India, were slowly changing its demographics. It was during the term of Father Jack Robson, lifelong supporter of the Manly Sea Eagles and parish priest from 2009 to 2013, that the significant change in the profile of the Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming parish became more discernible. There were new devotions. Filipino parishioners had brought the devotion to the child Jesus, Santo Niño, to the parish in 2001 and introduced an annual festival of music and dancing following a special novena in January. There were new ways of worship. The Syro-Malabar Catholic community, which celebrated Mass in their language, Malayalam, made Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming their home. The new arrivals were engaged parishioners. In the 2010 Broken Bay Interparish Choral Festival, held in Woy Woy, Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming was represented by a multicultural choir, which included a large Filipino contingent. The growing multi-ethnic and multicultural character of the parish was mirrored in its leadership team when Father Andrew Mutubusi of the Apostles of Jesus, a missionary congregation founded in Uganda, was assigned as assistant parish priest in 2009. When Father Jack and Deacon Paul left for other assignments in January 2013, Father Andrew served as parish administrator and later parish priest until 2018. He was joined by Father Manius Kobe of the same order as assistant parish priest. When the parish celebrated its 40th anniversary in October 2013, Father Andrew initiated the Multicultural Family Day as the annual theme and form of the festivities, a practice that would run over the next several years. The effort to draw in more young people to parish life saw the birth of the Young Adults Ministry. With the support of parishioners, 4 young members were able to join World Youth Day in Krakow, Poland in 2016. Parent volunteers ran a parallel program, the Youth Ministry, for pre-teens and teenagers. The multi-talented youth group formed a band, the Miracles, which played at the 5 p.m. Sunday Mass, guided by their adult mentors. A newly organized children's choir led the singing at the 9:30 a.m. Mass. The call to inclusion saw similar activity at the other end of the age continuum. A senior ministry was formed and came together for weekday Mass and morning tea and performed outreach work at Coast Shelter. The theme of reaching out to all people also meant continuing to engage with other Christian churches in the community, such as the Ecumenical Stations of the Cross on Good Friday. With the homeless and other underprivileged through the outreach program and the Wyoming St. Vincent de Paul Conference, with people experiencing social isolations for various reasons through Friends of the Sick and Eucharistic ministers, and strengthening communication and interaction within the parish through the revival of the bulletin, the Angelus. Father Andrew put a solid effort behind preparing and implementing the 5-year parish strategic plan. As part of the diocesan initiative, ensuring the participation of the parishioners in all phases and processes of the project, he also led the preparation of a parish financial plan with the help of the Finance Committee to minimize the financial worries of earlier times. The momentum of the parish strategic plan, as well as the familiar rhythm of parish life, soon came to a sudden halt when the worldwide pandemic struck in 2020, bringing fresh challenges to the parish. In mid-2018, Father Andrew was transferred to another assignment in the diocese. Father Raphael Kemaro, 2018 to 2020, of the Apostles of Jesus, became parish administrator. He took on the direction set by the parish pastoral plan, which focused on participation and inclusion. He would, however, soon play a more critical and sensitive role as the leader who would oversee the parish abiding by unprecedented measures set in place by church and state. It was a strange new world. Many items and practices in church were set aside. Fonts were emptied of holy water, music books were hidden away, no Holy Communion from the chalice, no handshake or contact at the sign of peace at Mass, no communion on the tongue, no collection plates passed around, restrictions on weddings and funerals. At the same time, many new items and practices have emerged. Social distancing, hand sanitizers, face masks, tap-on card readers, parish meetings on Zoom. As the parish church was closed for worship, Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming live-streamed its Sunday Mass with the help of its IT-inclined parishioners. A reduced young adult choir in an empty church sang hymns a cappella at the live streams. Despite the restrictions, the determined community kept going. Here is how the Parish Pastoral Council met, outdoors and socially distanced in 2020. It was Father Paul Kopczynski, CSMA, who presided over the gradual reopening of the church and slow return to familiar parish life. Polish-born and a member of the Michaelites, he had taken over as parish administrator in January 2021. On 23 October 2021, he welcomed the parishioners with an endearing do-it-yourself poster when restrictions on face-to-face Mass attendance were lifted. It was to be a brief stop. A new parish priest took over in January 2022. The post-pandemic period saw the parish slowly emerge from COVID restrictions into a new normal. It fell on the shoulders of the new parish priest to lead Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming out of the lingering shadows of the pandemic. Father Peter D'Souza, Parish Administrator, 2022 to the present. Father Peter, Tanzanian-born and of Portuguese descent, is a long-serving priest of Broken Bay, having been assigned to the parishes of Wyong, Tukli, Lake Marmora, Epping Carlingford, and the Cathedral at Waitara. Father Peter has spoken of the challenge to recover from life interrupted and to create and be welcoming to a more confident and more involved parish community in prayer, in ministry, and in self-giving. Hence, in this spirit, there have been new activities, such as the Passover meal on Holy Wednesday, the blessing of the animals on the feast of St. Francis, the revival of the children's liturgy, and parish thank you dinners. Meaningful liturgical celebrations such as those of Nadok Week and Anzac Day and school masses. New facilities to create space for community gatherings. Renovated amenities to improve accessibility for all. A firm safeguarding policy to protect children and vulnerable adults. The judicious use of social media to connect with parishioners and beyond. Beyond has also meant reaching out to other groups in response to the Pope's call for interfaith relations. All religions are a path to God. God is a God for all. The parish launched a historic first, an interreligious prayer for peace with Muslims, Sikhs, and Anglicans in the Gosford area. It was indeed providential that Our Lady of the Rosary Wyoming celebrated its 50th year as a parish on 14th October 2023 as it moves into the light as a welcoming community, full of hope for the next 50 years. Thankful for the grace and blessings that have been its 9 inspirational parish priests over the years, and the countless faithful and dedicated parishioners. Thank you.